Hello. Ohio, Onita. Let's get physical, 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 physical. Okay. Now, let's get into today's program. Today's program is Genshin once again. And Genshin is part of today's programming. I want to get done with the whole, what's it called? Oh, what do I get? Traces of Artistry event ending. Yikes. I want to be done with the Archon quest in prison. I feel like the prison section was pretty uninteresting / uneventful. Now, I'm sure.
You have to see the world for yourself to appreciate how beautiful it is.
Yes, you do, Nahida. Yes, you do. Now, I'm sure some people might have found that interesting, but I personally just it was not my cup of tea, you know? I like murder mysteries as much as the next person, but it felt just more of a mystery and a really dragged out mystery. Now, I'm not saying it was bad,
It is as the stars foretold.
but I'm not saying it was good either, you know? Sorry, I'm trying to decide who I want to play around as. Now, I have my two main witches here because we're going through a witchy vibe. Maybe Sucrose, just because she's an alchemist.
We'll succeed.
Barbara has to stay on, mostly because I just don't have a witchier healer. Sayu's a ninja, Noel's a maid, Chi-Chi's a zombie, not a witch. Diona's a bartender, and I also haven't leveled her up. So, you know, we have an alchemist, two witches, an astrologer technically, and a, what are they called? They call themselves, what are they called? They're called paladins? No. Cleric. She's a cleric, you know? She prays to Barbados. And that's really the whole vibes. No one talk about my map. I know. It's horrible. I should have more places unlocked. But I kind of get overwhelmed with all the things and I did do some. I did get rid of a good chunk of them. But I get overwhelmed. It's a lot. It's overwhelming. Okay, so this one.
I'm fine.
Though, what I will say for a fact, the music is a bop. I fucks with it. It's very intense.
You really are something. To be able to fall asleep like that and even sleep talk the entire time, you scared Paimon half to death.
I forgot what happened last time. I was just really, really, really bored.
No, but you kept mumbling things along the lines of, Paimon, don't take my grilled fish and put down the Adeptus Temptation now.
Really?
Paimon talked with Sigewinne the entire time you were asleep. She seems like she's just a sincere nurse, and Paimon didn't notice anything unusual in the room. Are you sure we're not going off track with the infirmary?
Oh, right. The whole infirmary thing. So, they found this little latch in the infirmary, and it looked suspicious. They pretended to be sick, and while he was, like, quote-unquote sick, he was, like, checking out the area while she was distracting Sigewinne.
All those tiny little suspicious things that Paimon didn't even pick up on. We've got to get the info to Lyney.
Alright. Maybe we'll finally get some action. Today is the day. Wapa. What do I got here? Commissions. Oh. I'll claim them later. Oh? Hmm. As you can see, they have a telepathic bond.
Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
No, we just worked our shifts according to the schedule. Nothing weird happened.
That's good. That means you didn't raise any suspicions when you infiltrated the infirmary. We've taken a look at the slip you've sent. Fremine successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago, and as of last night, Lynette has also infiltrated the infirmary after faking an illness.
Okay.
Wait, why is she getting involved as well?
You already went above and beyond when you scoped out the infirmary. To put it more bluntly, even if we were to view that as something you did in exchange for Fremine's help, you've already done more than enough. Infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. We want to avoid using the same faces over and over and reduce the amount of suspicion that will fall on any given person.
True.
Lynette also felt like you have already taken the first step for us, so she should be the one to finish the job.
Very
So
decent
that's
of her.
what Lynette thinks. Oh, Paimon hopes everything's going well for her.
Perhaps that's true. You're both very good people, and we've come to appreciate that more than anyone else. Unfortunately, there's still one thing that could get between us, lest you've forgotten. The matter of our respective loyalties. You've mentioned before that you've had some run-ins with the Fatui.
That is
I
true.
understand that feeling, so I assume you're just helping us out of the kindness of your hearts?
Well,
Sort of.
Everyone could use some more friends. We'll be counting on you to help us in the future too.
I had this theory,
Since I see you as friends, then it's even
but
more
it's kind of
important for us
more
to protect you from
in
any
the realm
harm.
of fan
Fremine and
fiction.
Lynette feel the same way.
I was thinking maybe they will, along the line, have this kind of. If you've ever seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, the first iteration of it, the White Lotus had these like connections between all of the previous characters that they had met along their way. I think Genshin might have something similar. We've seen before that the characters have met up with each other, at least to some degree. Venti knows people from Inazuma, Liyue, and people from Liyue have crossed over to Mondstadt and Inazuma. So far, I haven't seen anyone else in Fontaine, but that's also probably because I missed some events in Fontaine or something. But I think there could be something there, you know? Something else that's going on in the backlines that we're not aware of.
Glad to hear it. Then, let's go check on Lynette before Fremine returns. If everything went well, then she should be wrapping up her investigation right about now.
Is now really a good time to go over?
According to my observations, Sigewinne always spends around half an hour away from the infirmary right before lunch. Lynette knows this as well, so this should be a good time to meet up with her. Also, I'm her brother, remember? It's only natural for an older brother to care about his younger sister's well-being.
Okay, then let's head over right away.
Lynette should be here right now.
She's been abducted.
Strange. Lynette?
Unless she also discovered something.
As expected, Sigewinne isn't here, but why isn't Lynette here?
No, Lynette rarely deviates from the plan. We agreed that if she were to make changes on the fly, she'd find a way to let me know.
Maybe she left a clue.
Unless...
she's been abducted.
Let's see if there are any clues around here. We can look while we wait for her. Who
Alright,
knows?
give me
Maybe
one.
she'll be back soon.
Okay. Alright, so we gotta look for clues.
There are some books here and a few files. They all look like medical records. Advanced nursing, how to raise the spirit of your patients, a quick guide to the psychology of emotions, and the meaning of laughter.
The meaning of
Sure
laughter.
are some interesting books. Who knew Sijwin would be interested in these kinds of things?
Well, she is a nurse,
She even
right?
has books on understanding people's motivations and feelings.
Psychology.
Is it because she's a Melusine? Or does she have a need to understand her patient's emotional state?
Seems quite normal to me. These are skills that would come in handy for a nurse from time to time. None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in. Except that one over there.
That's the one Lynette must have used, right? You said she was pretending to be sick.
She would have said her migraine was having a particularly bad flare-up. Generally speaking, the head nurse would then ask her to lie down and rest, while she left to retrieve the medication. Which means, either the head nurse didn't return the entire time from when Lynette laid down up until she left the bed, or the nurse intentionally left it this way.
He's getting nervous. I mean, I would too. Alright. Oh, the little thing in the back, right? Yeah.
This is it! We saw it before!
Mm-hmm.
Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been disguised that well.
Most people would probably just overlook it.
The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be taken apart. There's probably a mechanism around here somewhere. Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that's the case, she would have contacted me for sure. Let's look around here for some more clues. Don't panic, just take another look.
Who's panicking? So, what'd they find?
Hey, you guys, there's a slip of paper over here!
And that is a clue that
Slip
she
of
has
paper.
left.
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the medium to pass on my message. You may consider this as me giving you my best regards.
So they know about the previous cards.
Is
Someone else knows about everything that they've been up to. Finally, something interesting.
the back?
This is...
Show me, now!
What is it? What is it?
That look on your face. Paimon's reading it now. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be right now? No. Could she have? Is she already?
Wriothesley, did he deliberately leave the infirmary unguarded to use it as bait?
Wait, you mean he was aware of our goals from the very beginning? But why? We didn't run into any trouble last time, and he also never reached out to us since.
Yes, that is a crucial question. Wriothesley, he doesn't do anything without a clear goal or reason. So this
I forgot
means
who
he had no
Wriothesley
concerns
is.
about your activities from the very beginning. You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Nervulet, so you have no conflict of interest with Wriothesley. We're a completely different story, though. I'd like to know that, too. Why did he only go after her?
He's your target? Baiting him in?
Panic. Just think everything over. I have to stay calm. This is not like what happened last time. The situation's different now.
Last time. Oh, when his sister got abducted the first time.
Wait, you're right. Wait, but that means the fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds. Could Wriothesley have let him go as well?
Probably.
What does he gain by letting Fremine leave like that?
Do I get it now?
So he's challenging me and trying to provoke me, I'm sure of it. We never should have sent out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around the guards and into the pipe, and we even thought luck was on our side. If Wriothesley let him leave on purpose, then he's probably in a terrible spot now as well.
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. We have to calm him down. Don't be like this, Lenny. Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child. That was our fault.
No. I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one responsible for this team. I was the one who failed to protect them. I'll go talk to Wriothesley.
Hey, don't be reckless! Traveler, please talk some sense into him.
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted again. I have to go. I'll find a way to get them back.
He's rushed out the door! After him!
Let us leave. Oh! Is that a smile?
I feel like we still have some room to make changes on these details.
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive testing.
Is that so? Very well. Then please be mindful of the time.
What is going on?
Is someone?
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in once we stop talking.
What is she involved in?
Whoa, are you okay?
These two. As expected, they've already found this place. Oh, they are quite sharp. What a delightful turn of events. I like smart people, but I also like playing dumb. I like the feeling of being trusted.
Oh wow.
What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic.
She's kinda,
Before you begin,
I don't know.
being able to read human expressions is quite the useful skill. Wait! It's no use. We have to catch up to him.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
He's already out of sight. How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Wriothesley's office.
She's a maniacal maniac. She's a psychopath. Melusine they are.
Come out and face me, Wriothesley!
Oh,
Administrative
damn! I'm
office
so
space.
bad at names.
Why don't you at least try to follow even a couple rules from the fortress's indoor management regulations?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas in my collection that can work wonders against such an illness.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second from another place altogether. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No. He's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hands, and he's even in the mood for small talk. That means Lynette is probably still alive. You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start, so you deliberately aroused the Traveler's suspicions and baited us into continuing our investigation, just so that you'd be able to kidnap Lynette. As for Fremine, no, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go, so you could purge the Fatui members that we had planted into your ranks.
There was no need to do so. The Fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here. The only ones who act differently are those with personal agendas. It was quite easy to identify your colleagues.
You
Riveting.
removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine has also fallen into your hands, right? If you're oh so omnipotent and so in control, why would you need hostages?
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Fremine is not.
He's not. What do you really want?
Lenny!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you so much for cooperating with me.
What is going on?
Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of the fortress's finest tea. Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been taken into any kind of custody. So, where do you think he may be right now?
I don't know, man.
You can't mean
The void?
you locked him outside in the sea?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world. That's all.
Fremine's a star diver, so he should be fine, right?
No, we're still here, so he'd definitely try to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the surface.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me to want to have some cards of my own when it comes to negotiating. Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meripede, regardless of whether it was in a personal or a professional capacity. Well, you got your wish.
So, you've been keeping tabs on us before we even set foot in the fortress.
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I will be straight with you. I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, all of that changed. Mr. Linney.
What is in the
cards
Forbidden
are stacked
Zone?
against you right now. Miss Lynette is
Why
in
do they
my
wanna
hands, and
protect
Mr.
it so
Fremine
much?
is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You know just as well as I that he cannot last out there forever. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for a cup of tea with me.
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you an audience?
If
Yeah.
she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parents' evening. The bonds between the
Yeah.
members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family. I don't see why she would refuse.
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come here in person.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection. I was looking forward to sharing it with her. Both Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina have already received many samples as gifts.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't allow you to use us to blackmail her.
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Does she truly have no interest in the fortress's secret? Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your father here. If you refuse,
I mean, what's the big deal? I don't get it.
instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? From the very beginning, the Fatui has been actively infiltrating my fortress.
That's true.
I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want to talk. Mr. Freminet left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. No matter how you look at it, the responsibility for this falls on you.
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything because of us.
6, 5,
It's counting down.
2, 1.
What's going on?
It really is a shame, Mr. Linney.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for my afternoon tea.
Yeah, listen to the Traveler. If you can't talk to Linny, can you at least talk to us?
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote, but it still has its own set of laws. Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a thing or two about what you found?
Man, I don't even know
I'll
what
ask
I
you 3
found.
questions. Answer all of them correctly, and I'll agree to your request. Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days in a row?
If you break down the hidden rule of the production zone, your welfare meal might contain some strange meat. Right. Well, what is
I've
this?
been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. But what could Sijuin be doing during that time?
She told us that it was because she liked to watch the workers during that time.
The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. Meanwhile, the Duke believes that only idiots who don't understand the value of coupons will spend them on Fonta. We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. It seems like she can perceive the general state of a person's health just by looking at them. Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. But the product has to undergo a trial because even Fonta's own employees have a lot of reservations about it. The research notes said that the Melazine race perceives the world very differently from humans. As a result, the Melazines have also developed a sense of aesthetics that appears rather strange and alien to humans. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company sponsored it. The company must want a return on their investment as well.
Okay. So what do we know? All of these are true. Regarding the hidden rule of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being able to work for 3 days in a row? Specifically 3 days in a row. The Melazine.
I've been told that the infirmary is all...
You get some strange meat. Select that clue.
The research notes said that the Melazine... The Fonta promoter has been... We often see Miss Siege... The research notes said that... We often see Miss Sijuin observing the... Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value...
Hmm. So this
We
one
often see
got
Miss
sent back to
Seishun
us. So
Fanta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. I've been told that the infirmary is always empty.
Ah, so that's what's going on. Paimon understands it now. Who would have guessed? The hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to work 3 days in a row, and if they do, they'll get strange meat in their welfare meal.
strange meme. That's what I call it Friday night.
Strange
I'm sorry.
meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared. But in reality, they were all prepared by Sijwin, the head nurse. She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn themselves out after 3 full days of work.
Uh-huh.
Out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health, Sijwin visits the cafeteria right before lunch and cooks an extra dish for those who can use the stamina boost. Sijwin has only the best intentions with her surprise gift and doesn't want anyone to find out about what she does.
I had not put that together.
Unfortunately, Melazines as a race perceive the world differently from humans, and their sense of aesthetics is even more alien to us. The
That
recipients
makes
of our
sense.
lovingly prepared special meals cannot taste the care within and usually just freak out. Are we on the right track?
Not bad. You've uncovered Sijwin's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. It's nice to know that her efforts have not gone unacknowledged. All right, now for my next question. There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration Ring, including the one that you're not allowed to support both sides of a fight. Why is that?
Because you're wasting coupons. The strange blood color liquid is from the Fonta production. They're saying thank you for spending so many coupons. If you violate the hidden rules of the Pancration Ring, you will receive a bag containing a strange blood-colored fluid. Now, we know that
According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fanta company sponsored it.
right.
The company must want a return on their investment as well. Fanta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. The Fanta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. Meanwhile, the Duke believes that only idiots who don't understand the value of coupons will spend them on Fanta.
That one was pretty easy to figure out.
Ah, Paimon gets this rule too now, so there really was nothing to be afraid of.
No, it's just a weird drink.
The hidden rule of the Pancration Ring is about how, people are not supposed to bet on both boxers at the same time. And if they do, they'll receive a package containing a strange blood-colored liquid. People get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate it with the missing boxer. But really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet-to-be-named and packaged new Fanta trial product. A blood red drink. It's no wonder even Fanta's own staff were questioning the company's decision-making. The company, facing backlash from its own staff, decided to try to trial the product on a smaller scale to see how it might be received by customers. They came to the fortress of Meropide and offered to sponsor the Pancration tournament so they could push their new product. But the Duke completely refused to even entertain the idea. The Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, knew that only total idiots who didn't understand their true value would bother buying a Fanta product here. And so, only those who proved their stupidity by being dumb enough to bet on two opposing sides of the same match were selected to receive the drinks.
That's crazy.
Acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth of this mystery to light. Although, based on your description, that Fanta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my collaboration with the company. Alright, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought of sparing Lynette and Fremine never even crossed your mind.
Oh God.
You'll pay for this! Ah!
Lenny, are you alright?
Bro got darted?
Oh, close one. I owe you, Siegeween. That was a fantastic shot.
It was nothing, Your Grace.
Damn, why didn't they animate it?
Though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually fully functional, as I just demonstrated.
Siegeween... You...
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus protecting it is my duty. When Monsieur Nervulette asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to take care of the well-being of everyone here. I am merely discharging my duties. But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Linny someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us? But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervulette told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect them. Had I not, they would be in far more dire straits right now. His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace? Mind proving my innocence to them?
My dear Siegeween, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have killed you to just wait another minute or two?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. I figured I should try to talk some sense into you.
Time for
What are
what?
you talking about? What time?
Exactly.
take me if you want, but let them go.
I think even if they try to
I'll
take
touch him.
us.
Can you just give me one more minute?
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
All right, everyone, calm down. 2 more visitors will be arriving any time now.
The Archon and Mishro
I'll go get a
Nevulet.
cup of tea. Miss Siegeween, I leave Miss Lynette in your care.
You... What are you doing?
I believe I hear footsteps.
She's very perceptive. Oh!
Space, please.
Ah, Miss Clarand. My door.
Miss Chlorine. Wait! Who's that on the floor?
Fremine. Fremine.
I'm sure he's fine.
What's going on? What is Clarand doing here?
Work.
I'm sorry
Purr.
about shooting you, Mr. Linney. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy in the meantime, though.
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like this?
Symptoms?
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have consumed primordial seawater.
Yikes.
What did you say?
Is he gonna become a puddle?
Make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Fremine a more thorough checkup. Your Grace, I'll leave the rest to you.
I'll talk to Clarand while you get Fremine to where he needs to be. Everything else can wait.
Bro's gonna become a puddle. What do I do now? I'll see what's going on here first.
How is he?
I'm sure he's
His
fine.
symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seawater. Still, his condition is not critical. Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. let's leave him here for now and move him to the infirmary once he's recovered a bit more. Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment. We do only have a single clinic in the fortress, however.
At least she's trying to be nice.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress? How could that possibly happen?
That is
Please,
true.
look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator. Oh, I'll bring Miss Lynette back with me.
Where is she? How is she right now?
Bro, calm down.
She just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct,
After I
she should also be
tranquilized
waking up
her.
now.
So
You
casual.
might not believe me, but His Grace and I actually made some snacks and tea for her.
Okay, they're chill, I guess.
What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Sigewinne may have been forced to shoot Mr. Linney again. How's the situation out there?
What is the
The water has
situation out
changed.
there?
It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater has increased significantly. I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time, well, you can see how that boy's doing.
Where was he
Okay.
when you found him?
Was he already
The abandoned zone
unconscious?
at the end of the pipes, a good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
I feel like it would have been easier
He has
if
a
you
knack for
just
picking out who
told
had good
them.
intentions, even when the outcomes were all terrible.
It's a bad sign if you're having to plead your case to Neuvillette.
True.
Some tea?
Not particularly. If you want
Oh,
to drink some that badly, just say so.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
I'd like some tea with you, sir.
Might as well then.
Sir?
I suppose.
Please,
Actually, do you
some
have a
tea.
towel? I
Some
would like it
one-on-one
if I had.
time. With this new cryo daddy. Sorry.
Winnie,
Right,
are you
he's the bad
okay?
guy. We don't trust him.
I'll be fine. They're all here now. Don't worry about me.
Are you sure? You don't look alright.
I want some boots like that. He has some
hands
sick
and feet are
boots.
still a bit weak, but that's probably just the residual effects of the tranquilizer shot.
She got you square in the neck, bro. She's got some good aim.
Lenny!
Ah, Linda's just chilling.
You're
Like,
here
what are you guys doing here?
Fremine? Is he...
He'll be fine. But for now, please help me lift him up.
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side. Lynette, together?
On it. Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us? The Duke and Clarande are gone. They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Clarande will need a...
Could I tempt you with some sugar for your tea?
No need.
I guess we can't get more out of this conversation. So we must leave. to the infirmary. Up we go. This is a rather interesting development. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Whoopsies. Let's see what's going on here. A lot of sick people. How's bro doing?
Fremine, how do you feel?
Lynette.
It's crazy how they have basically the same name.
Where am I?
The infirmary at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine, and you are no longer in any danger. How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling up to it.
Traveler. Paimon. It's been so long. The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay. We can talk about it after you've recovered.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it. Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now.
Okay. The pipes. Oh, are we gonna play as him? Bet. Let's play around with his powers.
I'm in. Seems like this pipe hasn't been used in a long time. It looks abandoned.
Oh?
Where could Master Child be?
There we go. Okay, let's see. Oh, he's a claymore user. What's his... Interesting.
Getting here.
Sick. I'm sorry, I must be nosy.
This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
So, I'm assuming I'm gonna have to fight something if the Door of Resurrection has been activated. Or I could fall and die, and that's why.
It's getting stuck on something.
Probably the latter.
Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it.
Oh. Seems I can't get in unless I do something. I might have gotten myself stuck here. Can I climb on these walls? I can't. Alright. I think I'm gonna have to restart. That's why the door is resurrection. Oh! What's this? Can I do anything here? I cannot, so I must fall. Alright, let's figure this out again. Yeah. So, I turn it. I can't use this. Thinking, maybe if I... fly up, turn it down, and then somehow get on this side. Oh, wait, I could just... Okay, sure. That works easier. Here we go. Then I do this over here. And I'm sure it'll activate now. There we go, see? Easy peasy once I think it out.
This is where the water starts.
Okay.
Okay. Master Child probably dived into the water. I'll go take a look as well. The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. I should be going in the right direction. There are traces here too. I need to keep going. Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait, what the? My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going on? No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
Is this where he passes out or something?
I can't die here. This is bad. I'm feeling worse and worse, and I'm still underwater. I have to push on.
Wait, I'm confused. I thought it's been 9 days. How does this...
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone. But there was also no obvious place for him to have disappeared to.
Right.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength to keep going. I probably passed out some time after that, and you know the rest.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she went out to save you.
Miss Clarande, you say? I must go thank her in person.
You're still too weak, Fremine. You can go after you've had some more rest.
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
A guest? Then I can assume Wriothesley was the one who invited her to come down here?
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me. Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Liddy?
No, please go on without me. I don't want to leave just yet.
Lyney.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in danger.
Understood. Then let's just sit together for a while.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now. As long as you stay in here, I don't think you'll be disturbed.
Thank you.
Interesting. I have thoughts. But I haven't developed a solid opinion just yet. So I'll wait to hear what Wriothesley has to say about all this.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
I take it Mr. Fremine's condition has stabilized?
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Sigewinne?
I wanted to check up on Miss Clarande. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
Mostly.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
right? Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now then.
Well, want to explain yourself, Risley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten?
So enlighten us.
Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
I like answers to all of them.
Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
Of course you did.
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave.
Huh.
As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
So he was investigating us while we were investigating him.
And stay ahead of them, even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
Who is
They came
this
here
guy?
with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals. Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance.
Did he die? Did he turn
I'm also quite
into
curious about
primordial
where that
seawater?
Harbinger went. So I
'Cause
figured
we
I might as well
have
let the
his,
Fatui do their own investigative work.
We have his vision.
All I care about is the answer.
So you were hoping Lenny's group would just do your work for you?
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremine has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true? That you're also a former criminal?
Why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
Oh, right. Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Clorant down here?
Me, of course. I paid her good Mora to come down to the fortress for
Whoopsies.
some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
Impending
You
crisis?
think Fremine was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already.
Probably. What is inside of this Forbidden
That's
Zone?
not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts.
Yes, but now I'm curious.
All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremine.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
Facts.
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that bad?
Yes, bitch.
Yeah, Paimon really wants to know.
I didn't sit through this
You know
whole
the
thing
truth
not to
may be
know.
pleasant. Follow me.
What is this unpleasant truth that you must hide? Wait, where are we going? I just started walking. Ooh, hidden pathways. My favorite.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is.
It is called the Fortress after all.
Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa! special. What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Not necessarily.
Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not to tell them.
Oh. Me. Okay, so maybe I should edit his things just in case. Because I did get rid of a bunch of his stuff. Because I gave him hydro damage. Let's just take what I gave to Mona, right? Like, well, I don't know, man. We got a hydro damage thing here. We got an attack here thing. I'm actually gonna quickly switch it to this one. And take, what do I have a Mona as? Do I have her on a feather? This is Heart of Death, attack, defense. Interesting. I have her on this one. Okay, let's just keep her on that one, right? Heart of Death flower. I am going to take that. From you. And I will remember to give it back. I haven't done anything to get his hydro powers up, to be honest. Do I want this weapon? What does it do? It's kind of whack. Elemental skill damage is increased by 80% of defense. The effect will be triggered no more than once every 1.5 seconds. What's his defense at? It's pretty high. 80% of it. Well, let's see how this goes.
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Whoa. They all just went up one by one.
Go on, have a look.
I'm ready. What happened? Come here. Come here.
I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it.
Right, so we're gonna find out what it is.
Not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally. Normally,
Well,
I
that
would've
looks like
ignored
it's in the red.
it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking?
Water pressure?
Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Freminet displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
Oh.
Concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the sea!
Yes, but that's
And
regular
that is
seawater.
precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising. Yes, that's very likely.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Neuvillette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues,
Get it? I see.
soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all.
Maybe this is distracting. Now you want to check it out. Anyways.
Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea? Who built this place anyway?
Paimon's asking the
Your expression
correct
tells me you
questions.
think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here. When the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf.
You know what I
pack,
didn't
chasing away the
change?
banished.
Let me
Criminals
check.
received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontanian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. That's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea. To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third. Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
I feel like since we're not from Fontaine, we should be able to go and explore the little like hole thingy.
This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our
researchers.
experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone.
Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
We can tell them about
The
us
results
not being
speak for
really fair.
themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin.
Let's say we have.
Good. Saves me a bit of time explaining. Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him to be my technical consultant.
You want to blow up the fortress of Meripede?
Wouldn't that speed up?
What a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
No, dead ass.
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man.
Oh no, she
If
seems
I
pretty
dated
flustered.
her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
He sounds so.
Forget I said anything then.
No, for real.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
So it seems.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
Yeah.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Paimon thinks everything is cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit.
It's an
And here
observation
you-
deck. Oh, see? What is this?
What a huge ship? This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontanian history?
About 0%.
Not much at all.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give
Like
you a quick
Atlantis?
rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty.
Lemurian
According to
dynasty.
legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them.
That
to join his
reminds me of
empire.
an actual
There's a
place.
ship in this story too?
But I don't know too much about its history or mythology.
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Rumeria,
Do you
Lumeria.
believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the Primordial Sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontanians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. Alright, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions? Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back.
You were just sleeping out there.
I'll leave you here for now.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Great. I look forward to what happens next.
Decisions. Commissions. Decisions.
We're back!
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
How can you be so much like Wriothesley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered something now. While I was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves to the water and even the teacups themselves.
Must have been Wriothesley and Sejuani.
Yeah, I heard 1 male voice and 1 female, so it should have been the 2 of them. They really were just talking about brewing tea.
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from Wriothesley?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took the time to rest, so I'm feeling a lot more relaxed now.
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sejuani is also busy with something or other. So let's just talk here.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions.
3 questions.
Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close to the fortress of Meropide.
Your answers are closer than you think.
He's good. He got that right on the first try.
That's Orlini.
What are you hoping to find
Secondly,
out there?
Wriothesley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. Why? I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for him.
Don't get
What's
into anything.
more, the Fortress of Meropide is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Iudex Nervulet. Wriothesley is basically the king of a no-man's land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the 2 factions are pitted against each other, Wriothesley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just can't think of what it could be.
You're super smart.
Super.
Thanks so much. Then finally, there's the last
The
question.
last question.
If Wriothesley does have a plan, what could it be? All All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. He has a bargaining chip, and it could be important enough for Father to deal with him directly. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me guess. You have the last piece of the puzzle.
So what if we do? Oh, I guess we're sharing.
I can't believe it.
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
Yes, you're right.
Could Wriothesley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis?
Maybe.
If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could Wriothesley have known that?
Or perhaps he didn't know and just wanted to bring Father over to his side, which could be why he said he just wanted to negotiate.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. No matter what, we're on your side.
What happened?
The two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time. Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as family now.
Aww.
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were going to do it.
I might have
Why are you
not.
being so formal all of a sudden?
Given your strength, you might not need our help at all. But if you are ever in danger, we will try our best to protect you.
Aw, the sound of that makes Paimon feel all warm and safe inside.
And hungry.
Paimon's hungry.
You've done so much already. Go get some food.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
Alright, let's go. Bye-bye.
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
I've never heard that before.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well.
Traveler and Paimon! Over here!
Hello, Sidween.
Are you here for dinner too, Miss Sijween?
Mm-hmm. And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's dinner as well.
Huh. You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria.
What would you like to eat?
We can choose today.
Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Woolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Me too. Don't forget Paimon.
No problem. Just leave it to me.
So delicious. Is this how it feels to be freeloaders? Wait a second, we did do plenty of work after all.
We did.
Feeling full yet? How's the food?
Delicious.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved, which suggests that you're feeling quite relaxed at the moment.
Sijween, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human beings?
Both.
A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care of you.
Maybe I'm Melusine
You're really
too.
good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like an older sister.
Damn.
Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear. Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you
Does
said that you were
Paimon have
protecting
any
Winnie and his
family?
siblings
Can
as
we
well?
ask her?
Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something was wrong with the water. Thankfully, Glorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Glorand left, to make sure that Lenny wouldn't impulsively chase after his brother. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Glorand had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linney as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real danger. You were all super considerate and really thought everything through.
Super considerate.
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as he's been the leader.
Hello.
I really wish Monsieur Nervula would come down here more
Hello.
often, too.
Okay.
I feel like he'd like it
Huh.
here. With all the darkness and chaos.
Okay, so
You
it is
both
working.
worked very hard.
Oh shoot, I messed it up. Ah. Does that work? I did. Okay, it's back. Give me a second. I messed up. Okay. Can we talk to Clorand?
Glorand!
Ah, it's you two.
How's dinner?
It's alright. Miss Sijwin really put in a lot of effort.
So we heard that Risley invited you to come down to help, and you saved Fremine too.
Oh, it was child's play.
Still, Paimon didn't know even champion duelists could take on side jobs. Oh, and why aren't you eating with Sijwin and the Duke? Won't you get bored eating by yourself?
Miss Sijwin was with you, and the Duke has business of his own.
Actually, didn't Navia say that you went out for dinner with her as well?
Yeah. First time in a long time.
First time in a long time? So you mean you've gone out to dinner with her in the past?
Ooh, lovers.
Yes.
Lovers.
You seem to be enjoying yourselves here.
Ooh, she got flustered from that.
Things will be getting messy at the fortress soon. Don't run around unnecessarily.
Everything is necessary. Oh, where am I supposed to go? For a couple of hours. Da 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 dum. Right, I did say that I would change her things back. But I don't see any real reason to do that right now.
So much has happened. Harmon just feels absolutely exhausted now that she's finally relaxed. I'm super sleepy. Are you sleepy too? Delicious. Paimon wants
Child's still out there, right? Tartaglia.
Get out of my way! What happened? Why is everyone running?
Oh shoot.
Something must have happened. Stop asking.
People are panicking.
Who's yelling? Paimon still wants to sleep.
There's a rumble. I might need to change her artifacts back then. Let's see, what did I have her on? Elemental Mastery. Why don't I have this enhanced anyways? HP. Attack crit rate. I'm just gonna just really quick, you know. Attack. Crit rate. Why do I have her on this? Attack, energy, reroll. I feel like this is... Oh, right. There we go. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. I never really built her that well to begin with. Oh, Bibian. Hi. My mod. You came just in time. We're about to see a prison riot.
Hey, what are you doing?
There's no time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, wait!
Yes, this is our conquest.
What's wrong with these people? They won't even talk to us.
They're running from something.
They're here! Yeah! There you are!
Guess you're gonna have to dip.
Oh, thank goodness!
Later.
We still in Lavaroon. Do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Grace is telling everyone to evacuate and get out of here. Lavaroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that 1 or 2 people are missing.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my idea?
Hey, shut up!
Aww.
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and outwards.
Oh no, it can't be that thing.
Oh, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
You guys need to go, but we have to go do something else.
Go on without us.
Hey, hey! Be careful!
Attention, please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
Alright. Let's see what's going on. Ooh!
They're here.
Just like I said.
Oh. Oh.
You're just in time. But be ready to run.
Oh. Oh! Isn't he gonna get turned into a puddle? Okay, bro. There's still more. He should definitely get away. If that touches him, he's gonna be a puddle.
Three, two, one.
Oh, is this where this scene is from?
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense.
Against the Primordial Sea?
The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
What are they gonna... She's Electro and he's Cryo. He could do something, sure. But what can she do? Is she gonna shoot at the water?
Neuvillette, why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately.
Ah.
Farina will soon be meeting with the Knave there. You must protect Farina and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her. Will do. You have my sincerest gratitude.
Are we not telling him that the whole Primordial Sea is spilling out? Okay, but since we're out here, there is a little, Yep, there it is. Anyways. Where do we have to go? Over there! Let's go, let's go, let's go! Time's a-wasting. Run, pigeons, I might turn you into chicken.
Look! There are a ton of Fatilium Palais Mermonia people over there! The Knave is probably here already. We need to hurry!
The Knave.
Are you two the Traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Neuvillette has left instructions. Please follow me.
Neuvillette.
Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Farina to the best of your abilities.
The music does not give the intensity that should it be. Like, we just saw a whole, like, intense-ass cutscene, and now the music is just like... Ding, 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 ding. Archon.
Oh, so you two are the
Knave.
honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Of course, of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and unbecoming of my station.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers.
I'm aware.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day.
16
Here,
slices.
Why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
I don't trust it. She says it in such a snide
Traveler,
tone.
What do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I.
wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked...
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Udex Neuvillette right in front of you.
Yes, he
ordinary
was.
people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Neuvillette. Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since Child disappeared.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still alive.
Do we?
Oh. And just how do you know that?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Meripede.
And
Paimon, you're just speaking.
Well...
That's what we're not sure about.
The Fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely? Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, I picked it up on his behalf. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets in front of the Opera House. Is it something like that?
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or how it's worded.
But it does matter.
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss Farina.
Huh? I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
Monsieur Neuvillette.
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess.
He's a dragon.
Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about
right. So what is he gonna do?
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day. This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe.
Who is this guy?
This sentence is too severe.
Nah, now I know for sure that he's a dragon. He's gotta be.
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
That's obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you.
Who is this guy?
Everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house. Miss Farina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong? And you haven't a clue?
What are you trying to say?
That is, she is the most clueless Archon out of all of them.
To speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontanian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable? The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Heart have devoted everything to saving their homeland. But you, it beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
She has a point.
I have my ways.
Farina hasn't shown any sign of being a capable Archon.
Even if you look down upon me, you
Honestly,
have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved.
Venti seemed more of a capable Archon than she.
See the true future right now.
As long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high.
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
What have you been doing, Farina?
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time.
Man, I don't
Beings
trust
like
you.
yourselves are unable to perceive them as of yet.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the
No, because she has a point.
An emergency response plan?
So you hadn't even considered one of those?
Have you not even prepared one of those?
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Why is that
Then allow
confidential?
me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The Oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
You don't even know what it does.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Farina. I first got wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly right.
You have no idea what he went to do.
Secret for me?
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves, everyone.
Farina has no idea what's going on, I feel.
I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise.
Why is she so pressing about this cake?
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer. Oh, Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave for bringing these over as well.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table. And I was merely catering to Miss Farina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over tea. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so I must take my leave now.
Very well. We'll end it here.
Now that we have some alone time with
Honestly,
Farina, though.
Traveler, we could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be on my way.
Paimon's coming too!
Of course Paimon's coming. Where would Paimon go? Farina?
The tea party turned out to be even more difficult than I'd imagined. Why are you looking at me like that? Is something the matter? If there's nothing urgent, then I shall be retiring for now.
I want to speak to her, but it seems that I have to be this character. I forgot his abilities do.
Go!
Kinda wanna ult just to see what it does. Interesting.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
Damn, really?
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude. Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important to me. You should know that I care deeply about my children. That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings.
I
know
don't.
you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get
I don't
anything
agree.
out of you.
I feel like this whole ideas of formality and informality are just ways to control the conversation. Communication should be exact and precise, and that's why we have so many communication issues.
He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Lenny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Farina?
Should we be honest?
You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share my perspective with you.
We probably share the same perspective.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Oh, come over here, you little critter, you.
They've just been stalking her.
You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
I mean...
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious.
That's because Farina is...
Unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed.
Oh.
It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me. I'm begging you, please.
The plot thickens.
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident to anyone. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake.
This
There's
is...
no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually
That's what I was
a
thinking.
genuine
I think he's got more going on than he leads
If the
on.
Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Yes, Father.
I see.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Wriothesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Iudex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a break.
Man, I am enthralled. I need to know more.
I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Farina and Iudex Neuvillette. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meripede will be a front. Linny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering. You should know the rest. Linny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
No, for real.
It
Like,
wouldn't mean
full
anything
on
even if
admitting
you
it.
shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever happened.
Man, I want to interrogate Farina.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, that doesn't seem right to me either. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Iudex Neuvillette or Farina, neither fits the bill. It's hard to
Okay.
imagine either of them as the Archon. Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification.
Usually your gut
It
is right.
however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves.
I must get to the bottom of this.
One must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve.
This is so strange. We like, this whole time you're led to believe that the Fatui are these horrible people. Well, they are kind of horrible. But over time, you start seeing that even the people that you consider enemies have their own little backstories and reasons for why they did things.
He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur.
We need to be clued in.
Protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the Primordial Sea and reseal the sluice gate. So as expected, the Knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives. Permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a speculation on our part, though.
He's not saying no.
Can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else. We won't try to force you. You guys in Fontaine are super strange.
If by the phrase "you guys" you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics. I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh?
And so it starts raining. Because he's the dragon! The evidence points to itself. And now we will find out that I have been right this whole time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just...
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... what? Huh?
Please do not be so surprised.
I knew it! I knew it! I knew it!
Farina?
We must speak, Ho.
Neuvillette, are you listening?
My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right? Well, if you don't want to confirm or deny...
You guessed correctly.
I
sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret.
I'm sorry.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret.
I was right.
There's...
I guessed it from the beginning.
ask you, though.
Please, go ahead.
I am the master detective
You
here.
are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial sea from the fortress. Then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
Probably not.
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood.
Interesting.
They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
Oh,
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history.
I want to talk to
I believe I will
Rex
not be able to do
Lapis.
much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss them with me at a later time.
I want to know everything.
There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meripede? Paimon is a little worried.
But I also have to pee.
We'll see you another time.
Take
I
care.
must urinate. Alright, give me a second. Never mind. All right, let's figure this out. All right, where can I go? Here? The first one seems pretty close.
You guys are back?
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back down here, right?
Huh? No, not at all.
Ah, and here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreakers, but now you're telling me you just never left?
We're sorry, but we just had some business to take care of.
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to see you. He was super worried about you, you know.
I bet.
Hey, it wasn't just me. Weren't you super worried as well?
Something like that. I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quisto mumbling to the carrots. Are those two all right? Do you think they made it out alive? Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure they're fine. Wherever they are, they're kicking back with drinks in hand, enjoying the lovely scenery.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pals. Is there? I mean, considering how they always love listening to all my gossip.
These two, they sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make sure you finish every last bite.
All right. I could go there, but I want to check out what everyone else is doing. Miss Sejuin?
Sejuin! Traveler, Paimon, you're back! Are you still doing all right? Did either of you get hurt? We're fine, but what about you guys? It was such a huge mess. How bad was it? A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Monsieur Nervulette paid us a visit. It was all thanks to him that we managed to suppress the crisis for the time being. Of course, we must also thank you for the help you provided. How did Nervulette know that he was needed here? Well, Monsieur Nervulette has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level rises, he can feel the waves produced. I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. They were mumbling the whole time about how you just ran down without a word. I'm so relieved to see that you're both all right.
I mean, I think even if we touched the primordial water, nothing would have happened to us, I think.
Just let me know if you get a craving for any particular dish, so I can have Mr. Walsey get your meals prepared. Oh, and please feel free to visit the infirmary for a break at any time. I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite contagious, you know. They're so memorable, and I've missed them immensely while you were gone.
She's so sweet. I think. What's the other place? Up there? I'm gonna go check them out. What should I go? Here? Let's go. Oh.
Now guess, what suit will this next card be?
A bare-teethed cat?
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Hello, everyone.
Looks like you're recovering nicely from it, eh?
Thanks to everyone's support. Oh, Right. I managed to work up the courage to thank Miss Clorand in person.
Whoa, how did she react?
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if saving a life wasn't a big deal to her at all. She also told me not to worry about it.
She didn't
So
want to stress
cold.
you out, that's all. She's right, and it's best not to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the opera house and we met the knave.
You met Father? Did she say anything to you?
She said you gotta trust
She said
others.
a few things that were, a bit hard to understand. And also that she's looking forward to working with us in the future.
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. That's fantastic.
Hmm.
You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers close, which now might also include you.
I wouldn't go that far.
Father is very capable, and also trustworthy.
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Linny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others sometimes.
Got it.
That does sound like something that Father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few days?
I suppose.
Excellent. I will host a tea party.
Tea party.
Paimon wants another serving of cake.
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up there. How lovely. Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks with us.
And now to check up on that other guy. I forgot his name. The Duke? Man, I'm so bad at remembering names. I don't think it was always this way, though. I used to be... No, names are something that was kind of hard to stick with. I mean... Even my own name. I still have trouble identifying with my own name. I don't feel that it fits me. But that's a discussion that's neither here nor there. Jaru?
Courier?
Oh.
Jaru told me you still haven't eaten.
Yeah, I was working on something, so I forgot.
That's no excuse for...
Are you guys sure you guys aren't dating?
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently. How have you been?
And you? Are you still taking the secret passageway from the infirmary to work on the ship?
Yep. That is still top secret, though. So don't say a word to anyone.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer taking that route over the...
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier for you to slack off.
Oh yeah? Then why are you also here so much?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relationship, aren't you?
Not at all!
Alright, no. Sick. I will get over there somehow. But for now, I must go see Wriothesley. Wriothesley?
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after
I like
making
this
it to the
view.
surface? Some strange winds blowing of late.
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything still alright?
We're fine, for the most part. Neuvillette came down and took care of the worst of it.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay here?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Eudex himself to exchange the Courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water in the middle of nowhere. He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sigewinne's gift with him, though.
He sure sounds super busy.
Miss Clorand has left as well. She also took her gift from Miss Sigewinne.
Were the gifts milkshakes?
Neuvillette got the milkshake. Clorand received lipstick instead.
Those aren't even remotely alike.
Well, it's Nervilette's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out beauty products for the ladies. Oh, and I have some gifts here for you as well.
Are these from Sigewinne too?
Nope, they're from yours truly.
Oh yeah?
You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so you may continue to use your cell until your term is up.
For real? Then we can stay here for a really long time?
You may access the cafeteria for free.
Sick.
Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
I'm just gonna teleport. Here. But I'd rather avoid all these pleasantries. I want to, what's it called? Interrogate Furina. Because that bitch seems to know more than she's leading on. Or at least not know more than she's leading on. So, the question persists. Who is Furina? What does she know? Is she really the Hydro Archon? And when will I stop being so damn broke? I'll continue. I want to keep seeing.
We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners, though, so it really doesn't feel the same. Being free sure feels pretty special now. Huh? How did you know? Hey, that's not true! Alright. Okay, Paimon just wanted to say that we really are an amazing duo after all. It's like we've now gone to so many places together and become friends with so many people. We've never stopped traveling or stopped meeting new friends. There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just two people, but we've still been solving problems no matter where we go. Isn't that pretty cool? You're counting Paimon today? Aren't you the only adventurer here? Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well. Paimon will also be an adventurer from today forward. Just our thoughts making Paimon giddy. Paimon's gonna crash, so you sleep soon too. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside ourselves. The primordial seawater nearly rose up. That was so scary. We should be safe now, right? Alright then, good night to you, traveler.
We're gonna get some child memories tonight. There's that whale again. I know I just finished one part. And I should. I mean, I'm guessing I'm gonna have to do all of these eventually, right? What's that? Oh, that stuff. I've kind of been avoiding it. This is the day you get out of prison and you proceed to complete the paperwork for your release. Since I have to... what's it called anyways? I must know more about this dragon. I need to wait anyways, so give me a second. Hi. What are you up to? Alright, where was I? I need to wait until the next day, so I'm gonna go collect the commission stuff for now, and then I'll see how long that takes. But I also still need to pick. Actually, let me go.
Fate is called as such, for it cannot be changed, nor can it be reversed. It can only but be accepted. Alright, now where was I? Gotta collect these things. Ad Astra Abyss. Thank you for completing.
And since I still have to wait...
For fun? Oh. I don't usually have spare time for such activities, especially when I have so many columns left to write. Then again, it might be worth it. A change of pace once in a while isn't such a bad. Ad Astra Abbott.
What is this about? Should I do this? I do have to wait. They actually have a list. The list includes your current and previous adventurer's handbook. 80 days. Have all the documents and proofs ready. Arrive at the specified location. They will not be able to accept the commissions if they fail just one item of the qualification. I don't know what this is about. Too much reading. Have voiceovers, please. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, cutie. What's up? Now for your commission history. Names you've used in the past, any pseudonyms and aliases that you use when you want to conceal your identity. What the hell? I don't want to do this. At least not now. You know what I do want to do? Skip time.
Astrologers must rid themselves of material desires. Only by ridding oneself of clutter can one see the true world around.
I do have enough to make a wish. I don't know if I want her or Kazuha. I don't have any to make one of these wishes though. Maybe I'll just save my wishes for the next banner. You know what? I have a good feeling about this. I probably won't get her, but I'll get something better. Never mind.
Hello, I'm Kachina, a member of the Children of Echoes. I adore green fruits and would love to become more strong, even though I'm still not much of a fighter. I should probably save all that for later, right? Then, are you hoping to go somewhere? I'm pretty familiar with these parts, so I can show you the way.
Cool, I got my first not Len character. Okay, a bunch of weapons. I was hoping I'd get more characters though. But I do need weapon materials, so that's fine. Exchange. Is that all I can get? Probably. Confirm. I can get one more eventually. I'll keep saving up. She's a pole arm user. She looks like an icy lady. Mountain of Echoes, time to get serious. Weight of Stone, Bone of Crystal Flame. Night Realm, Heart of Unity. Joe bonus. Defense. She seems fine, I guess. $8 to $12. I don't feel like waiting. Time to go. Are we just gonna pretend like they just woke up? Damn, how much time was that?
Now for a little rest after breakfast. Wait a sec. Isn't something important supposed to happen today? Oh, today's our big day! We're supposed to leave the Fortress of Mirapede! Come on, we've got to go complete the release procedures now!
Masquerade of the Guilty. I am too invested to stop now. I'm assuming.
Please, sign here. This document will be effective immediately upon signing, and you two may exit the Fortress of Mirapede via the regular channels.
It's been so long since we've been to the surface. Let's hurry up and... Huh?
What's happening? I'm fine, thanks. But I wonder what that tremor was just now.
Let's go ask the Duke.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Your Grace.
Ah, good to see you two. Is there something you wish to see me about?
Did you not feel that tremor?
Ah, that. The tremor didn't originate from the seafloor. In fact, it seems it came from the surface. Over the years of serving as the warden here, I've developed a sense for distinguishing between what occurs on the surface and what occurs underwater.
Whatever you say, beautiful.
Besides, the seal that Monsieur Neuvillette set in place won't fail so easily.
So the fortress is okay?
For now.
If you recall our last incident, if there really were a problem, there would be crowds of inmates in a panic right now.
Huh. You've got a point. Okay, seems we need to get back up to the surface and ask about what happened. By the way, do you know what day it is today?
I believe today is this month's pipe cleaning day.
Wait, seriously?
Ah, yes. Have you completed your release papers?
Of course.
Yeah? It's you two. Are you leaving now? That's right! Today is our last day in prison! But now that Paimon says that, it doesn't feel like we were confined here. It's actually been pretty nice! Oh yeah, Paimon feels fond of this place now! Then be sure to come back and visit. I'll miss you.
Ooh.
If you've signed the release papers, then you're free to go. The guards will escort you out.
You're not going to see us off?
Daddy, sir.
I knew you'd ask. All right, sure. Let's go.
Yay.
Well, you actually agreed. No worries, you must be busy. Paimon was just joking.
Ah, so you do have a polite side, I see.
After being down here for so long, I imagine you must feel like you're lacking companionship. Shall I come along too? Yeah, don't worry, we'll come back to see you. Paimon really likes the cafeteria here. The chefs sure do know how to make good grub.
That's so weird to
I hope you
say.
won't be here as convicts the next time I see you.
We'll do our best to stay out of trouble.
I mean, we weren't even in trouble the first time.
Mirapede is finished. That's the end of another chapter in our journey.
Okay. Enough about the soppy, gushy stuff. I wanna know what the dragon has to do.
You're going to see Monsieur Neuvillette? Please pass on our kind regards.
Of course, Sanguine.
I'm sure just your regards will do, no?
I believe it would be the polite thing to do.
You're right. I've
But
heard
I'm
the
not
palais has been
polite.
terribly busy these days. Tell him that I hope he hasn't been overwhelmed by the recent string of troubles. If you're concerned about things at the Palais, why don't you? I believe you should still have some.
Thank you for being so understanding. It's been some time since I've gone to the surf.
Then who would take care of the sick inmates? Go to the Palais Memoria. I kind of want to do this, you know, like the solid way, or how it should kind of be done. You know, go through all the main channels and the elevators and the excavators and all the little tunnels and pathways. Though I never made it to the other place. There's gotta be the next elevator around here. Elevator. No, I think this is the medical bay. That says down. What's here? Have I gone here before? Research Institute. I guess I think I have. You know what? Screw it. I don't feel like doing that. Where am I supposed to go?
Need not scry to know today's weather will be good.
What's up? Are you okay? My cat seems a little weird today. I think she's missing my siblings.
The Palais Mermonia sure is buzzing with activity today.
Halt! Huh? Oh, it's you two. Apologies. Monsieur Neuvillette did say you'd be welcome at any time.
Excuse me. Would you mind helping me take a look at this report?
I'll be right there. Sorry, I've got my hands full here. You can see yourselves in.
Everyone's so busy. Seems a lot has been happening.
Hello. You've come at the right time, but you'll have to wait for just a moment, as there are some urgent matters I must tend to first. In the meantime, please, have a seat. If you'd like to have something to drink, let the Melusine outside know.
That's all right. We just ate.
Very well, then.
Let's take a break over there while we wait for him to finish his work.
All right. That should wrap things up for now.
Are you done with your work?
Yes, sorry to keep you waiting. Today should be the day you were released from the Fortress of Meripede. And it appears that you...
That's right. And we came here to see you right away.
A massive whale.
Do you know anything about it?
What that might be?
Judging from your description, That cannot have occurred in any ordinary waters, but rather something like the primordial sea. A whale of that size and shape cannot usually be found in the waters of Tevat. Therefore, we can only assume that Child is presently immersed in primordial seawater.
Immersed in primordial seawater? What the hell? And is he okay?
Most people wouldn't be capable of entering in the first place. I'm not completely sure how he could have gotten there myself. Yes? What is it?
Oh, right! Paimon felt it too! We asked the Duke and he said it wasn't from underwater, so we figured you might know something about it.
It turns out that I have just received a report about this particular matter. In fact, that's exactly what I was The source of the tremor was here on the surface near Poisson. After the shaking stopped, the water levels in the Poisson area rose at an alarming rate.
The water levels rose? Oh no! What about all the people there?
Fortunately, the water levels only rose for a short period of time, and have already returned to normal now. However, I still have a bad feeling about the whole phenomenon. If the change in water levels is connected with the leaking primordial seawater, then the situation in Poisson may be much worse than it appears.
Navia should be in Poisson, right? We need to go check on her!
I would also like to go there as soon as possible, but I'm afraid I can't leave just yet. We must immediately formulate disaster prevention plans for the surrounding coastal areas to avoid potential catastrophes. I'll have to ask you two to go to Poisson first. I'll meet you there to check on the situation once.
There's no time to lose! Let's get going!
Please be careful.
They're really stretching this out, aren't they? I need to know. I need to know. Oh.
Oh no. What happened here? Navia should be around here, right? We need to make sure she's still... Paimon means we need to check on her.
Paimon's thinking what we're all thinking.
We haven't seen a single soul all the way here. Oh, this is getting scary.
What do we do now?
Look, there's someone on the roof over there.
Just stay put. We're coming up. Watch your balance.
All right, just hurry.
Fair assessment.
I'm not young anymore. How will I survive on my own? My Desiree!
He looks pretty sad.
My leg. How could this have happened? It hurts.
Just hang in there. Help is on the way. You can hold my hand if it makes you feel better.
Damn. Time to loot the disaster sensor. Like a real American.
It's Navia. She's over there. Hey, Navia, are you okay?
You're here.
We heard there was a situation in Poisson. so we came as quickly as we could.
Yes. As you can see, the water level suddenly rose. It caused quite the disturbance, in fact.
Demoiselle! There was a wounded resident next to a building southeast of here. We've already transported him to safety, but we've run out of medical supplies.
He's wounded? How badly?
He fell, so it's probably a broken leg. He's pretty shaken up. When the water level rose, he desperately climbed up to the roof. Once the water receded and he saw the ground, he became terrified and eventually...
He jumped down then. Find the leader of Squad 1 and tell him to take the wounded resident to see a doctor. He should know where to go.
Understood. I'll take over his search and rescue mission in the meantime.
All right. You'll be in charge. I'm sorry. Right. Allow me to explain. A little earlier, we suddenly heard a loud noise. At first, everyone thought that something might have exploded on an aquabus. But before we knew it, water started pouring out from everywhere. The rushing water seemed a little odd, almost like the unique color of primordial seawater. Some people didn't realize the danger and thought it was just ordinary water, leaking from somewhere. Everyone on the street who happened to be close to the water didn't have a chance to escape. As the water levels rose, they suddenly disappeared. They were all dissolved. Those who realized what was happening started to flee in a panic, desperately trying to get to higher ground. Many were injured in the stampede, and some people fell from significant heights. The Spina di Rosula initiated rescue operations as quickly as possible, but there have been a lot of casualties. Fortunately, the water began to recede after some time, and the chaos came to an end.
Damn.
The water that flooded the area contained primordial seawater, so the lower levels of Poisson are still hazardous. To ensure everyone's safety, I've asked the people there to leave as soon as possible. No one knows if this could happen again. All we can do for now is try our best to help evacuate the residents. We still haven't completed the head count, but we'll have some numbers soon.
How awful. And all of this just came out of nowhere.
Did it though?
It was quite frightening indeed. I only wish that everything that just happened was a bad dream.
Is there any way we can help, Navia?
Thank you for being so willing to help in a moment of crisis like this. You don't know how much it means to me. I really can't express how grateful I am.
Don't say that, Navia. That's what friends are for.
No.
Demoiselle, we've got a situation here.
I'll be right there. Sorry, I need to go for now.
Are they dead?
And off she goes. Seems it might be a while before she can take a break.
Okay, the wounded are being tended to, and we finished a preliminary head count. More support has just arrived, so I suppose I finally have a moment to focus on my own matters. Of course, we should remain ready for anything, and continue doing our best to rescue others. I'll be sure to have everyone at the Spina di Rosula ready to render assistance. Traveler, Paimon, would you two accompany me to my father's grave for a moment?
Huh? Right now?
Thank you.
Oh man, her right hand and left hand are dead. What shall we do? a single waypoint up there.
Not a lot of people here, huh?
Well, given the time of day and the whole situation in Poisson, Paimon doesn't think there'd be a ton of people here visiting graves.
Right. That's how things are now. The living are so exhausted that they've no strength to spare any words for the dead.
Navia? Navia, what's wrong?
Sorry. I just...
I'm sure she must feel really rattled after the whole situation.
Silver. They won't ever come back here again. What should I do, Papa?
I figured.
Huh? What happened to them?
Everyone agreed on the rescue plan, but still, I was the one who initiated it. They were helping evacuate the residents, but they couldn't leave in time. And they were caught in the seawater.
What should we do?
I've known them for so long. And I know they weren't afraid. But I could at least hold a funeral for my father. And I know where he rests. But as for Malus and Silver, they're just gone. I just can't.
Everything looks so clean after it rains. Even the gravestones. I didn't expect that you'd enjoy a glass of red wine in front of Master Callus's grave.
I can understand. Besides, the scenery here isn't half bad.
See, it's not just me. I always want to bring something when I visit Papa. Perhaps we might even have a picnic. He wouldn't be angry, would he?
How could Master ever be upset with you, Demoiselle? Yet the cemetery is the home of those who have passed, is it not? Everyone ends up here sooner or later, no matter who you are.
Buying yourself a plot in advance, are you?
No need yet. But when I do, I hope you'll let me be buried beside Master Callus, Demoiselle.
Hey, stop joking around.
I'm quite serious. That way, it will save us both the trip to see each other whenever you visit your father's grave.
That makes sense. In that case, could I be buried on his other side?
After all, besides you, Demoiselle, the two of us could certainly be considered Master's closest companions, no?
Personally, I believe we fill those shoes just fine.
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? Seriously. All right. I'll remember your requests.
But I'd really prefer not
Damn.
to talk about this stuff. And what do you mean by saving me a trip? I'd make the journey even if I had to visit you two somewhere else.
I promised to let them rest in peace here. But here I am breaking that promise.
Because they're back
I'm
at the
sorry
sea?
for letting you see me in a mess like this. I don't usually cry, really.
Paimon doesn't know how to help you feel better. But, well, she understands how you feel.
I had always thought I could make my wishes come
What's
true.
up?
But now that I think about it, that never solely relied on me. Many things can only be accomplished with someone else's help. Malus and Silver have helped me so much. But by contrast, I could do nothing for them.
I'm sure they understood the sacrifices that they were going to have to
You
commit.
can spend as much time as you need here, Navia. We'll stay with you.
Thank you. Right now, you don't know how much that means. By the way, you can have a look at this. It's
Obena, Khan, Burnett, Giverny, Francine, Karina, Daisy Ray, Juanville, Julianne, Esson, as well as Malus and Silver. So, everyone else is safe.
But it's okay. I know what you're thinking. And you're right. The overall outcome indicates that the cost was worth it.
Right. Don't think that way, Navia. One person might be saved at the expense of another, sure, but that isn't something we should ever consider a trade. Malus and Silver were not the price for saving anyone. They're heroes.
You're right. Thank you, Paimon. What you said just now was pretty amazing, actually. I'll remember your words.
Oh, really?
Seems you've become more eloquent in the time since we last met.
You.
The knave? What are you doing here?
Is everything going well on your side?
Yes, my people are carrying out the mission according to your request. All the residents of Poisson have been evacuated, and we're preparing to relocate them to higher ground. As for these supplies, we have everything taken care of. There is no need to worry.
Thank you very much.
Wait, do you two know each other?
I bet they have to.
We just met recently. Right, Miss Navia?
Usually, I would call this a coincidental encounter. That doesn't quite fit this time. Besides, it never even crossed my mind that a Fatui Harbinger would come looking for me. Thanks to the Knave, Spina di Rosula received generous support from the Fatui, which allowed us to complete the rescue and evacuation work so quickly.
Mutual aid is essential to fostering positive developments. We were already in the area, in any case, so it was nothing. That said, I must say that you're a lot sharper than you let on. I'm sure you understand what I mean.
I apologize for all the ways in which I tested you previously. We've never worked with a Fatui before, and it's extremely important for us to know who we're working with. My subordinates have reported that Fatui soldiers have been observing water levels and taking head counts in various locations. I hear that they've also prepared a large amount of emergency supplies. I'm quite surprised.
This is nothing to brag about, nor do I intend to. It is simply the way of powerful organizations to act forcefully, whether they are doing good or ill. You've witnessed that firsthand, in any case. As I've told this traveler before, I know of the prophecy, and I intend to prevent the impending disaster.
Even if the
Lending
Hydro
your organization a
Archon
hand was
won't.
a natural first step in accomplishing that. As such, do not be troubled by this token of our sincerity. Perhaps one day, you'll also be able to help me in the same way.
Without your help, there would have been many more casualties. I won't forget your kindness.
Furthermore, I sincerely regret what happened to Malus and Silver. I only wish that my people could have arrived a little earlier to prevent this from happening.
Don't say that. You and your subordinates did everything you could. As Paimon said, Malus and Silver didn't choose to sacrifice themselves for any specific person. And they weren't the price paid for other salvation. They chose to become heroes themselves. I've never liked hearing people put it that way. It's like trying to relieve pain by saying some noble-sounding words. But right now, there's nothing more suitable. They really did become heroes.
You're right. I'm sorry for your loss, Miss Navia. Water is life to Fontaine's people, and it also spells disaster. It's no wonder that people always say that prophecies represent fate. Fortunately, I've never been one for such opinions.
So, you're one who will try to change fate then?
Of course. That is why I'm going to Hotel Bouffe de Terre. I still have some things to take care of, and the children need my attention.
I never thought I'd agree so much with the knave.
One more thing.
Alright, then we'll just... Huh? This isn't right. Paimon thought you would ask us to walk with you for a moment so you could tell us something in private.
That is a clever and useful conversation technique, which I do like to use when necessary. But there's no need today. It would not hurt to have Miss Navia listening in. Traveler, I'm sure you remember that I said we could work together when we had the chance.
Right.
You and I both know that there may be issues with the Primordial Sea. Previously, it was the fortress of Meripede's sluice gate, and this time it was the water levels in Poisson. These are both signals. Indeed. Allow me to share the latest intel I've received from the House of the Hearth's intelligence network. During some recent investigations, a child claimed to have discovered some ruins near Poisson. The ruins date back to ancient times. Judging by the dating of the ruins, they may be related to the prophecy and the coming crisis. The situation is becoming more urgent, so any pertinent information will prove extremely precious.
You seem
My people
stressed.
initially came to prepare for ruin exploration. Unexpectedly, this disaster struck. And at present, we're all busy prioritizing the rescue effort.
So that's why the Fatui were already in Poisson.
I wanted to take the children along, but unfortunately, Linny, Lynette, and Fremine have all been dispatched to higher ground to
Are you worried
assist
about everyone
residents.
else?
Linny told me
You don't
that
have to.
outside
They're coming back in a
perhaps
bit.
The person they trust most is you. Which
That'll
is
be
why I
okay.
want to give you this task.
Okay. I'll be fine. Boop.
The House of the Hearth's members see each other as family, but Linny, Lynette, and Fremine said that they also see you as such, even though I'm sure you already understand how earnest they consider their friendship with you to be.
Oh, that somehow makes Paimon feel kinda happy.
The intel I just shared about the ruins could fetch a high price. But since the children consider you family, it's only natural that I freely share it with you.
Got it! So all we gotta do is go to some ruins, right?
Excuse me, but may I tag along?
Want the water?
You wish to join, Miss Navia?
But are you sure you're up to exploring some ruins? You need to rest.
Well, I'm sad, yes.
See, Buggy?
I can't just go back and plop myself into a chair by the roadside and do nothing.
Why'd you say see,
being depressed
Because she looked like she was stressed and looking for everybody.
As my father's successor, I must live up to the hopes he had in me. Besides, I'm also doing this for myself.
Well,
Since you
I'm kind of tired
I have
anyways.
no objection. All right. The room.
Okay, the three of...
I will call it there, even though I have many mysteries and secrets that I have yet to discover. I'm tired. Good night.